for Ocarina of Time Randomizer Tournament. Today we have two of our good runners, Punch and Schultzer, who should be kicking off within the next minute or two. With me on commentary today is Alexander Harold. Well,
Hello.
hope we've all been having a good day, so it should be kicking off in about 60 seconds, if not before.
This is an interesting start. You got Water Medallion and Storms.
We do
I mean-
indeed have storms. It means the well's open immediately. So just to clarify, we do have the light medallion to start with. That is because we have a pre-completed dungeon. So whichever dungeon is under the light medallion, there are no items in it, and it does not need done. The aim of the game today, we have two aims to beat this. One is to build the rainbow bridge over to Ganon's castle, and the other is to get a key to unlock the door to Ganondorf. Now, to build that bridge, you need to get all three of the spiritual stones, and to get the key to Ganon's boss door, you have to get the light arrow cutscene. So that is the shadow medallion and the spirit medallion.
Yep. And well, the random item that we could get from the song checks could be any one of our song checks.
That is correct. We do have an extra starting song in the form of Prelude. So one of the song checks is junked. Which
Well, I
one?
wouldn't
We'll
say
find out as
junk.
we run.
You could actually get a major required item on one of those song checks. Because we have seen it
Oh, that's it.
before.
Oh, is that the seed where the mirror shield was on Burning Kakariko?
That's not the only
And we
time
are
we've
kicking
seen
up.
it. Alright, let's see what our foolishes are. Water Temple, that's a good one. Market, ooh, that's powerful. Rural Fortress is decent, and Zora's Domain is pretty nice.
Yeah, so that's another new thing for this year's tournament, is that all four of your foolish hints are right at the start. Just so you can
Actually, that was the
maximize
thing
everything.
last year as well.
Oh,
where
it was
all
last
your
year the
foolishes
first one
are-
that gets it.
Yep, yep. I did play in that last year as well. And I really enjoyed it. It was super nice. And they're both starting off going into Kakariko, classic opener.
Yeah, it's a very fair opener to do with. There's a lot of Sphere 1 items, and you do get another song out of the mix. You're gonna need to go here at some point anyway. It's one of the most powerful areas in the game.
You can even route it in like Zora's River, like after if you're really hurting for hints. Or if you get a bomb bag, you just go in as child and full through it.
Yeah, with the Song of Storms in your hand to begin with, it's much more useful to go to River as a child, because then you can just clear the entire thing out in one.
Saria's song on Nocturne, there's fire arrows on the roof guy, and there's a bottle. It's a good start.
Yeah, fire arrows are useful, but not particularly useful at the very start. But having fire at some point always, takes some ease off your mind. And that was Saria's song on Burning Kakariko, so the Saria song is very hard to get. That involves collecting all three of the non-essential medallions.
Well, we've
Beating
already
all
got
three
one.
non-essential dungeons.
And one of the non-essential medallions is another song all on its own, so...
Yeah.
It's not too bad if Saria's is actually required. Sun's checking the skull house hints, because he knows he can just warp with Nocturne and get the hits. 20 is dead. 30 is dead.
30 is dead, so 10 skull tokens maximum today. Unless you really want that extra heart.
But I think our writers are usually pretty good enough about it. Death Metal Crater path to Baronade. I didn't see which boss it was, but
I think I saw blue.
Oh, trail. Okay. It was trail to Baronade.
We are seeing a change in route straight away. It's usually there's a pretty defined opening for these settings,
I mean,
but
I'm not surprised
skipping.
that Schultz are doing it though.
Yeah.
He plays like somewhat aggressively, and it usually pays out for him.
Yeah. The graveyard does have 3 extra Sphere 1 checks for you, but, you know, doing the damn pay race is a full minute, essentially.
Yeah, he's annoying.
Yeah, that implies he doesn't troll you by hitting you with a flame at the exact right point and voiding you out.
That's another bottle up there. Not that it's necessary, but it's nice that it's up there.
We're gonna hit a record for bottle percent.
Like, if we could find a fraud for one of these, like, the supplies for it, that'd be really good for Schultzer, because it doesn't have Dombe having something? Oh my god. That's a repeat for cash. Oh, it's a bomb shoe pack? Yeah.
Bomb shoes, we don't know where the bomb bag is.
Oh,
Don't know where the bomb bag is,
that's
so it
a
could be
mirror
useful.
shield in Zora's River.
Nice early mirror shields. It saves you having to buy one.
It does. I think that was frogs.
That was
No,
that was
it's,
Deku Nuts in the toilets.
Yep.
In the underwater silver rupees in Gerudo Training Grounds.
Alright, is there anything on the upper ledge? See in about a second? Nope, that's unfortunate.
There's an extra hint. And some
He's
rupees.
grabbing some cash here.
Only caught one of them, unfortunately.
Sun Grave is dead. That's actually a pretty nice hint to see. And Schultzer is going child as well. Both of them are.
Yeah.
I imagine he's... Wait, Night Market is dead, so... I'd probably push Dompe here. Like, Dompe digging. Because it's kind of annoying to route without suns. And
yeah, I think.
I see. He's gonna check the. Okay, so we have Stone Deku, Stone Fire, Stone Jabu, Stone Dodongo, and Stone Spirit.
Water and Shadow as our 2 non-required dungeons, which, I mean, I would be very happy with that pairing. Shadow's long and requires some awkward items. Water requires iron boots and the long shot. Maybe gold scale on the long shot. More items that aren't particularly useful elsewhere in the game.
Yeah, water is also foolish. That's a slingshot on Simon Says.
That's a very convenient location.
Apparently I am super quiet, and I am comfortable with that.
That is a very convenient place for that slingshot, and it does pay off. That's a silver scale. Scale right next to your path into river, so that has worked out very nicely for Sponge. Can do the entirety river in 1. As opposed to Schultz, who would have to do a second dip.
Yeah, that's actually super nice. Especially for Sponge right here now.
Yeah.
And that is Song of Time. Not like the biggest thing we could see, but it is not terrible.
We are stacking up things that we're picking up, but these are all items that are more useful for the end game. Honestly, the most useful thing we've picked up so far is the silver scale. And that doesn't unlock a huge number of items. It's just convenient for traveling around the world.
Oh, those frogs too dead.
Brooks 2
Ice
dead.
Cavern is vanilla for the song, and the item is dead. So unless you want to do map and compass in that area, you're probably gonna skip out on ice this time around.
Yeah. If you're a runner, you'll be hoping there's nothing important in ice, because that's going to be one of the last places you go. It's far out of the way, and there's only 3 items in there.
It seems like Sponge is having like some sort of internet connectivity issue right now. Or that, or
He
like
froze a
freezing.
little bit earlier. It only lasted a few seconds.
Yeah, I noticed that too. Let's see. Now it's happening on Schultzer's side. Oh no. Well, we're not seeing that hit, unfortunately.
Side, yeah. Well, we'll see it soon. I highly doubt Sponge is gonna
you don't skip
that one with 45 rupees.
Yeah, you don't really skip this one. Unfortunately, we'll
see
not see it. Lost Woods to Volvagia. Well, there's that slingshot and that scale. Just mildly uncomfortable knowing that.
It would be particularly uncomfortable for Schultzer, as scale being path for something
OGC
tends to...
path. Path to Baronade. Bomb juice.
Okay,
yeah,
so Schultzer
has 2 paths.
Has been helped out there a bit. As usually, if the scale is the path to Volvagia, that usually means the bomb bag is locked, in Zor's domain or something, meaning that Sponge having those bomb chews would have helped out a lot along the way.
Well, there's Naruto's letter. So yeah,
I think we can guess what's going to be in OGC.
Probably the boomerang, which means we have another path to Baronade, so it's probably strength. Or something leading to strength. Or strengths.
One of our many strengths.
Yeah.
You need to pick 3 of them up.
Alright, we're gonna see this time around. That was Icy Water's dead.
Icy Water. Okay, so we really are hoping there's nothing in ice. Because that's another one of the items in the ice area hinted dead. Even less reason to go there.
Yeah. DMT and OGC are both path to Baronade. And something tells me that Baronade is also locking the hammer in some sort of way with that Volvagia path, potentially.
I mean, if the bomb bag is just sitting in Zor's domain, that's the easiest way for...
Is it Domain Foolish?
Was Domain one of the Foolishes?
Yeah, it was. Domain, Market, Water... I'm trying to remember the last one.
I'm not scrolled fully right on the notes tracker. That'll be why.
Notes tracker. I need to grab that. I was going off memory.
Yeah, this is why I use a tracker for every one of my races. I already know there's no chance I'm gonna memorize anything beyond 5 minutes.
Yeah, that's what I do too.
Up for his scale.
Yep, and we still have to see what the ones in the scrubs in Lost Woods near SFM is.
You know what is an awkward thought though is Lost Woods is path. There is a Saria's lock check in the Lost Woods. So if it is Skull Kid that has the hammer, that does involve beating Water Temple and Shadow Temple just to get that song.
Yeah, that is a very real possibility.
And our first qualifier 2 days ago did indeed involve beating all of the dungeons.
I mean, thankfully it was spelled out, and immediately obvious in that one, because as soon as you found the Nocturne hint. But yeah, other than that, it looks like Schultzer's... Okay, so that one is... It's more than likely the scale at this point.
We'll hope it's the scale. We'll hope it's the scale.
Realistically, it probably is the scale.
Yeah, chances are. We'll see what's in Lake Hylia. I think that's where Sponge is heading right now to test that out.
No, he's going to Lon Lon Ranch here.
Oh, got the angle wrong. Yeah, it would make more sense
No,
to
Schultzer is going into Lake, or at least into Southern Hyrule Field first.
That would make sense, he's already done River, so going that way to
Well,
Lake.
neither of them have really gone into River either. So, other than, you know, Schultzer's adult dip.
Yeah, it's less enticing for Schultzer to head to River as a child, as there are those 3 checks he's already done. It's just the one, and that is a time investment at that point, even if you are going through Domain to Lake to check out that.
Well, yeah, the main
check
reason you do it is
Lake
you try to push that scale path, basically.
The Ruto's letter spot is one of the very few directly silver scale locked checks in the game.
It's the
Normally,
only one that's
for.
hard silver scale locked. Others are just
only
like,
silver scale.
Potentially.
Yeah, the others
and
are.
Zelda's Lullaby in Lon Lon Ranch.
Okay.
There's a copy of the OGC hint again. Get to see what's in the silo. We'll probably be peeking at the scrub in field.
With Zelda's Lullaby, it is looking less and less likely that the scale would be path for getting to Jabu.
Oh, a free
We
shield.
need to have a bomb bag very far out of the way. Free shield for Sponge. Schultzer got the more useful of the 2 free shields.
Oh, nice. Gold rupee. You buy for 10, you get 200. 190 rupees profit.
Seems like good value.
Yeah. Well, for the buyer, it's good value, not for the seller.
I think calling him a business scrub is optimistic.
Mirror Shield was in the open grotto in Zora's River. Schultzer did it as adults, but Sponge has not been into River quite yet. But there is something that could tempt him over with the scale path in Lost Woods. Technically, it's a slingshot because it does lock the, the scale, but
yeah,
for the time being. But the scale definitely is the major thing going forward here.
Yeah, unless we get into awkward situations like the slingshot being path to get into Child Spirits, which isn't often the case. It's either the scale or Skull Kid.
But yeah, that was Bolero in the Sun Song Graves, so that is another song. Whew, barely rested that.
Save, yeah. The trick I always get stressed out by. No matter how many times you do it, it's so easy to not hit the side hops correct. The door
the
playing
worst
up
is
on you.
when you have Oko, then you have to basically play with Nehru's Love. Speaking from experience. I just find it amusing that Mario can be a Child Link model.
Well, he's a bit too short to be an adult model. He does fit very well, though.
He does.
Hangs on the
I don't think there's
incredibly
anything
well.
on the Ruto's letter spot.
Yeah.
So
I didn't see what it
we
was,
know
but
that
Schultzer hasn't picked it up, so...
not much interest in it. So I think what we're going to be seeing here is probably rushing over to River. Because...
So,
oh yeah,
Schultzer's
and
chasing Yeah, Schultzer's chasing the paths at the moment, and Sponge is just chasing density. Having picked up Zelda's Lullaby, having explosives, even if they're out of logic explosives, being the bomb chews, he can fully complete the well. That's a free 11 checks.
Yeah. And it's relatively easy to route in with chickens as well.
Yeah.
Schultz is going to hand in the letter. He's going to do boomerang check. Because this is technically scale locked at the moment.
Yeah. And doesn't involve getting the boomerang out of OGC Fairy.
Yeah, but I do think that pushing that is not like a terrible idea. Because the slingshot and the scale put it into logic.
Yeah, these are two very different routes on very different philosophies that both make perfect sense. One of them's going to work out.
I think we're having a few technical difficulties. Because for a while, both streams were like freezing on me. And now it's just Schultzers. I really, really do want to see what's in Boomerang Chest. Because it could be like a bomb bag.
A bomb bag would make sense. A hammer would also make sense, as that unlocks a lot of your bomb bag checks.
Yeah.
We're back up and running. Let's see. I did not know you could target that spider through the wall.
Yeah, you can target like a lot of things through walls. Because that's one thing that hasn't changed between Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask.
Yeah, but normally you have to attempt to target it through the wall. I've never accidentally done it on that spider.
Well, one thing I've learned over the years playing Zelda games is your Z target sometimes just likes to go off into Narnia. And unfortunately, it punishes you instead.
We do have a big in the well. We do have a big chest in the well.
It's
a very
unfortunately nothing. So the little gamble did not pay out, but
yeah, would have been especially nice to have with magic, as we do have a free Furore's Wind, which lets you lay a return point in any dungeon.
So those irons.
Iron boots.
I don't want to talk about them because that means water's on the table, and that's kind of an uncomfortable feeling.
Is on the table, and Water Temple does lock 2 songs, Zaria's song and something as yet unknown.
Yeah. Well, we know it's not Serenade. That's all we know.
We know it's not. Yeah, we know it's not Serenade, and we know the second one isn't Zaria's. And this will be Schultzer heading to Lon Lon Ranch, I guess.
He's also
Picking up the Keaton Master.
Yeah, he's setting up for like a 4 stage, just in case.
Since he's picking up the Keaton Mask, I think we're going to go see him going to Lon Lon Ranch and into the well, chasing after Sponge. As to hand in the mask, you need to go into Kakariko.
Well, so far we've only seen those iron boots in the bottom of the well, and we're almost done it.
It's true, I haven't been counting keys, so I don't know if there's something in the basement or not. I guess we'll know if Sponge heads in there or not.
So we didn't get the... We know where 2 keys are, don't know about the 3rd because we did not peek the, the top left chest. So the basement could be an item, for all we know.
One way or another, it's likely that these chests are bomb locked.
But I do like to change the song change for Randomizer. The one where it shows the song that's playing. Which primarily just uses the metadata. But it's still pretty
losing the hole and missing.
Oh,
Losing a shield.
there's an item in the basement, so the top left was indeed
Key.
a key. Which means this item is bomb locked. Oh, it's a hook shot.
Theoretically, you could have magic and dins to get that, but it's less likely than there just being bombs out there somewhere.
Well, you also need a strength too.
Not for dins.
No, because you got to go drop downstairs.
Yeah.
Use your
Yeah,
Din's
yeah,
fire,
sorry.
and then you got to get the strength and back walk with it. But
No, these bomb shoes paying out.
they truly are.
The mirror shield was in the basement of the well. Mirror? Hookshot was in the basement of the well.
And that was Requiem on Bolero, so that is another free song.
Not found our empty song check yet. We're rapidly running through them. You would be hoping it's
Oh no, not again, please.
You'd be hoping it's the prelude.
Because it keeps crashing, and I really wanted to see. Okay, that looks. I could not get a good look at that. On top of the arch, unfortunately. At least we'll get the song info, but we won't be getting the hints info, sadly.
Yeah.
Epona. There's our horse.
Thanks towards.
Well, let's see what the item is here, if it's anything of value.
Yeah, afraid I couldn't see what the item was on the top of the archway in Colossus. I don't know if it's fully completed.
Yeah, I couldn't get a good look at it either.
Shots picking up his Bolero as well.
Yep.
And also attempting the flame storage trick.
Oh.
I was thinking that didn't look like a saved flame.
Yeah, it's because it's got it like the last frame of the stick basically has to be like in the flame to get it.
The head of the stick needs to be in the flame as it disappears.
Yeah, when it reappears too. All right, good.
Smooth execution of it.
It kind of looks really funny with a Deku shield on his back. I'm not gonna lie. So Schultzer is Mario and Waluigi.
It's nice to keep a theme.
True. Very true.
It feels like you'd need a Deku shield bigger than that if your head's that size.
And Schultzer is indeed going into the well. He will get the hook shot, and he will get the iron boots. As Sponge's feet has unfortunately crashed.
It's an interesting pairing, you know, getting the iron boots and the hook shot in the same place. That is your water temple entry.
Yeah, it is foolish. So there's no point in going in until you're kind of strapped for checks. Or if you really want to feel saucy and want to go for the sorriest song gamble.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if a bomb bag shows up, you're sort of running low on things that the scale could be for.
Yeah, the thing is BK could be in like a horrible place. Oh my goodness. Speed
Yeah,
is
it
just not
it
doing
could.
well today. Oh, there we go. Oh, we will be getting Dodongo's Cavern entrance here.
Yeah, I did have Sponge up on the side when he was down, so I can say that he did get a bomb bag on the Death Mountain Trail Storms Grotto, which was our
Oh,
path to, which is the location that's our path to Baronade.
so that means our scale can't be path then.
Um,
Unless it's like for lap dive. And that's
yeah,
about it.
Lab Dive and yeah, only Lab Dive. You've got the Iron Boots now as well, so it's quite literally one check. And it's one check you can get out of Logic, because we did get a hook shot and we did get the Iron Boots. So you can do a legal trick to skip the gold scale requirement.
And there's a Goron tunic, a very convenient thing to find in a fire dungeon. And it saves 200 rupees.
It saves finding a wallet to even hold 200 rupees as well. You're guessing a slingshot for Child Spirit locking a strength somehow. So
That
the
is
strengths are pointing
possible.
towards Baronades, rather, and the Lost Woods is pointing towards the hammer. So you'd need to be looking at the hammer being locked by either strength or the boomerang.
Well, yeah, it could just be like a hammer and Jabu for all we know.
Could be a hammer and Jabu. You haven't been told Jabu is foolish.
Yeah. Or, let's see, what's... Jabu's a stone, right? Oh, fire's also a stone,
Jabu is
so
a
it can't
stone.
be in Ganon's castle.
Yeah. You wouldn't get a hint for an item to beat. You wouldn't
Well, I
get a
mean,
hint for an item to beat a stone dungeon to then go into Ganon's castle. The hints don't work like that in order to stop your... If you had an item in Ganon's castle, it's to stop the path to that item being every dungeon, essentially. We are seeing Sponge making his way through our first required dungeon of the day, Dodongo's Cavern.
but I was just talking
Usually
about
the first one.
the possibility of, like, Hammer being in Ganon's castle, but there's no way it could be that with, you know...
Yeah. Not when you need to beat Volvagia to get in there.
Yep. By then, we'll basically have, like, full spirit access, anyway. Because we know where the Mirror Shield is, and we'll have to get 3 strengths to get, what is probably the boomerang.
So it's very likely that it's almost definitely likely that inside Ganon's castle is not required for big dungeons. You know, light arrows might still be there, but it's unlikely that we will be seeing much of the inside Ganon's castle dungeon today.
Yep.
And Shelter finishing off that Skull Mask quest.
Ooh, there's a big chest in Dodongo's Cavern, like right above King
bag.
Dodongo. Strength.
There's our first strength.
There's 100% no path for King Dodongo, because the bomb bag in DMT is probably for Baronade.
That is interesting. That is a bomb-locked strength.
Whereas there's 2 possible locations for path to Twin Rova, which is Requiem in Death Mountain Crater and the Mirror Shield in Zor's River.
Alternatively, we could get strength showing up. No, wait, we can't do it that way. Yeah.
Oh! That was the hammer! That was the hammer on Skull Mask.
That is a very useful pick, as we don't know where the hint for Skull Mask is. Skull Mask is one of the checks that always has a hint stone pointing towards it, so you do often see runners putting that off until they get the hint. If that hint is
Oh, hold on.
hidden
What
away
if it's
somewhere,
for the bow? What if it's for the bow or for the hovers? Because there is a chance where you could be key locked out via bow.
yeah, it could be. There are still items that we haven't picked up that can be at least logically required for Fire Temple.
But that is
yes,
absolutely
so-
a nuts play from Schultzer. Getting the hammer before going adult.
It makes perfect sense as well. It's a very cautious play, but it makes sense when you start with Storms and you get Prelude. You have Prelude, you start with Storms. It makes perfect sense to go Child, pick up the Keaton Mask, hand it in while doing well, and then put off everything else until you can pick up that Skull Mask. Just hand it in.
Yeah, it's likely the hover boost, but there is a chance that it could actually just be for the bow, because you do have a low chance of Fire Temple being bow locked, and that is Din's Fire in Tektite Grotto. Oh my God, Dead Hand was hinted. The one in bottom of the well.
Yeah, it's a shame, but it's not that time consuming, all things considered. It's not the worst thing to be told is foolish afterwards. Having this hammer is gonna make the rip through Crater, Trail, and Goron City a lot more comprehensive for Schultzer.
Yeah.
These are precious seconds
wow.
he's gaining by doing all these things now.
Well, there's a scale here that's not scale locked. So it could be for lab dive.
Could be lab. That's the only thing left, really. I don't believe that's anything. The other side of the maze. So that's one nice thing for Sponge. That's a hammerlock check that isn't something big.
Well, you could get to it if it was big, because you can just
Yeah,
climb
you
off
can
of it.
backflip over when there's a big chest next to it.
You just jump off of it. I think this is a
normal
river
jump
play
does, yeah.
from. Oh no, this is a minuet play right here.
Yeah.
But yeah, in regards to hints, if an item is directly hinted in any way, shape, or form, then it cannot be waff or path ever. Like, if it's in a sometimes or always hint, or even a hint where it tells you that that item is like in a general location, it cannot be hinted the path.
Each check can only be hinted once, whether that's an always, path, whichever type.
Oh wow.
There's Minuet of Forest. It doesn't really have much impact, though. Forest Temple is pre-completed. We have
Bolero for adult, and Child, our save quit is in Lost Woods. Yeah, this minuet is kind of useless, unfortunately.
But that's another reason Sarias could be logically required. done and dusted. The only thing left is Darunia's Joy
Darunia.
in Childborn City.
Yeah, B1 skip is actually in Logic this year for these settings. I learned about it last game. I wasn't playing it, but I was watching it. The Sponge is gonna get his
Something
mirror
that's been-
shield. No, he's Russian Ice. Yep, very classic Sponge play, Russian Ice here. I respect that.
Got 2 bottles.
And plus, Serenade is not the least useful song of the seed. That'd be Minuet.
True. Fire Temple dual hint. I think the Fire Temple
Okay,
dual
Pierre
hint for
and
FGL
Hammer
is,
Chest.
yeah, the top of the
That's
2
pretty
towers.
That's pretty much the only one. You'll see it a different one sometimes with regard. Oh wow! Well, Sponge now
Okay.
knows where the hammer is. Just
So that is good. That's not an awful location for. Actually, it's quite a bad location for the hint, but Sponge has gone there, so it works out well for him.
Yeah. That makes a
With
lot of
ice.
sense. We didn't. It's because Schultzer's feed actually crashed on us during that time, so we could not read the hint.
Ah, yeah, he did hand in Rito's
So
Latin.
that makes a lot more sense of why he did that. He knew where the hammer was. Just unfortunate we did not get that information because, well, technical difficulties. But yeah, Serenade is not like the worst thing in the world to grab. Because it's going to be
Is
good
there
for
gonna be
Jabu
something
when we get
here?
back. Oh, wow!
Oh, that's bad news for Schultzer, really. He's already been up there. Go into Jabu. Ice is mostly dead. Icy Waters is dead. There's
Well,
scant
you're gonna have
reason
to get it-
head back.
True, because he's not gonna get there back there as for Jabu.
Yeah, you're not going to be going back to Jabu until after picking up that strength, as you need all 3 strengths to get the boomerang. The routing for Sponge is
Yeah.
paying off. It is, but a lot of the things Schulter has done have paid off for him. You know, the trip
True.
into Jabu has stung, but you know, got those bomb chews, has managed to skip the graveyard. We'll see if he ever actually goes back and does Dampe. Actually, he probably will have to do Dampe before heading back for that second strength.
Oh, man.
But the routing for the hammer worked out very well. Picking up the bomb chews has allowed him to do the bulk of the Lost Woods. Yeah, and he's in a good position to complete Fire Temple too. You know, as long as a bow shows up somewhere, he can full clear it, as the hovers are only theoretically required.
Yeah, and there is the low chance of the bow being required for key logic.
It's not that low, to be honest, in my opinion, or maybe that's just, you know, Fire
No, it
Temple
is.
being spiteful.
It's very low. Oh my god.
Well,
Thank
for the
goodness.
completion, yeah, it requires the boss key to be higher. But I mean, it's a required Fire Temple, therefore the boss key is gonna be. Actually, no, if the dual hint said the boss key is up there, you do need to pass the bow check. You need to pass the
Yeah.
eye switch.
Like,
So
because we know hammer chest is just a small key.
yeah.
If we find
Does-
hovers for like from somewhere else, and then that the maze chest happens to be really big, that is actually kind of convenient. So there's
Yeah.
yes, ice is kind of barren. The strength in the fountain was good, but yeah, just otherwise kind of barren, unfortunately.
Oh, was the ice cavern hint was in river, wasn't it? That's why Sponges pushed this. Hasn't picked up that hint
And mirror
telling him that
shield.
Serenade's here rather than. Actually, there really aren't that many useful
Serenade
songs
is
left.
not even a
Yeah.
bad song to grab from his perspective. Because you know that
Yeah.
you're going to need Strength 3 anyway, which means Lake is going to be a pain to route in. Like, walking there. Even with the save quit, it's still quite a bit slower than Serenade. And plus, with the strength that he got, that alone was already worth the trip.
100%. That
If he can
strength
get, like,
could be game making.
If he could get, like, the mirror shield, then he could do Spirit Temple. Because you have basically, like, the full kit ready, otherwise.
Yeah. I think if he doesn't root River in after Ice here, we'll be waiting until his next child trip.
Yeah. Although, I
order
don't
to
know.
loot
I
the
think
front.
it might be sooner than we think. Because he knows what Hammer is. He might be motivated.
Yeah. And that would make sense why he went straight. No, wait, he went straight to Ice before getting that hint. So.
Well, I mean, Ice is a not bad play here. We still haven't seen
Either-
the item, like, in the rotation yet. And it wasn't in Minuet.
No, we have not, so.
So there's a very real possibility that Prelude is the item.
And I mean, that's the optimal place for it to be.
And see,
Skipping your
there's-
reason for doing Water Temple. And even
Yeah,
then, the
well,
only other
It could be a
the only other
strength.
song is Sun Song.
Yeah,
the only other
song
song we have is Sun
dead.
Song, and that's dead. As useful as it is, it's not required.
But I think we are going to be getting a lab dive on Sponge's side.
Yeah. I mean, that's perfect reason to get Serenade. You get the items out of Fountain and Ice, and then you get a perfectly easy way to go chase that skill.
And that is the boss key in Child Spirit.
Requiem is 100% path.
Oh, yeah, this makes a lot of sense. So he's just gonna do this out of logic anyway, so he could get the token as well. What we call efficiency here in the business. Oh no.
Well, there we go.
That definitely satisfies path right there.
That's our path. Might not be logically required, doesn't mean it's necessarily.
You know what's a
Aren't
really
required.
cursed idea? What if the first logical bow is actually in shadow? We're just missing a magic to put that into
Yeah.
logic.
Well, I mean, the thing that we haven't mentioned at any point is the Kakiri sword is still somewhere.
Yeah, that's also
That's-
very true.
That's the sort of one remaining item that can be a pain to find, that is outstanding and is hard required to even get into the Deku Tree.
Yeah, that is also very true.
We've found Mirror Shield, we've been pointed towards the boomerang. Strength 3 and Kiri Sword are our two biggest concerns at the moment.
Yeah. The only other thing we kind of are looking for at this point are light arrows.
Yep, the light arrows too.
And
Although
there's the
we do
possibility.
have light arrows. We do get the light arrows hinted by Ganondorf. So if you haven't picked up the light arrows by the time you have access to the final boss, he does explicitly tell you which area they're in, which is nice. Saves
Yeah.
some time on that, because, you know.
We just gotta first find it. And we did not even get to see what was on the fishing game. Or at least I didn't.
Yeah, I didn't have the stream on to see, unfortunately. Now,
Also, Spirit confirmed being magic locked.
will this be Sponge heading into Spirit? That strength 2. Or is he going to put it off in the hopes of finding a mirror shield during the child play?
But yeah, it
Nope.
didn't seem like it would
He's
have
going
anything.
in.
This makes sense. I mean, you don't know what's there. Okay,
It's
so
a
some
good
block
chunk of checks.
So there's a key in adult side of Spirit. Because Schultzer just showed us there's only two keys that he found.
What were the keys? One of the child sides and the map, was it?
Yeah.
And there indeed is our key number 3.
Yep, well, not as predicted, because it could easily have been the older one, the silver rupees as well.
When will Sponge go to River? I don't think it's going to be that long until Sponge goes River. There's only so many things left to do as a child, and at this point, River's 4 checks.
Especially with
That's it's 4 checks, and that's relatively dense.
Well, the thing is he's probably going to push River when he pushes for the hammer, which is in Lost Woods.
Yeah.
And it didn't seem like there was anything of note.
Yeah. I don't think River is going to be a problem for Sponge.
River is probably going to be a little bit later, but Sponge will eventually get to it.
Yeah. It's on the route, and it's on a route of stuff he needs to do anyway. As you mentioned, he's going to be right next to the river entrance when he picks up the hammer.
Yeah. Sponge is also going to have to go Child into Spirit, because Boss Key was on Child Spirit.
Yeah.
So...
Mirror shield or no mirror shield, you're getting locked in here somewhere.
Yep.
Like, he goes hunting for strength 3 at some point. Getting a lot of health.
Yeah, 7 hearts. Not often you see people getting to this level. This volume of hearts. Often runners at this level kind of just sort of sit at the 4 or 5 hearts.
It is nice for some of the fights.
Yeah. I mean, unless Fire's pre-completed, I'm always pushing for at least 6. I know I can do it with 5 hearts. I don't want to do it with 5 hearts.
Yeah, I mean, you could theoretically do it with 4 hearts if you're consistent with the the cutscene bugs.
You know, like where you're constantly using a cutscene item in midair, because that actually freezes the timer.
Yeah. I am not. I'm not good at that.
And it is something that is, in fact, allowed in standard. But it is a pain to do as someone who has done it before. Ooh, something spicy. And it's bomb locked because
It's
strength
indeed
2
a bomb
is
locked.
bomb locked. And I'm pretty sure the last strength is also bomb locked in some way.
In what way?
Actually, no, wait. The one in Dodongo's Cavern is already bomb locked. Never mind.
Yeah.
So it doesn't matter because bomb bag is definitely path in DMT. So it doesn't matter if the last one is bomb locked or not because we already have 2 bomb locked strengths. That last strength could be just about anywhere.
Yeah, we've really kind of run out of directionality when it comes to the hints. Unless a path to Queen Goma shows up. We still have 2 path hints outstanding. Where they are is not clear. Probably Hyrule Field. No, we've seen both Hyrule Fields.
I don't think we've seen this check yet, have we?
I think it was in Sponge's downtime.
Yeah. So we didn't get to see the item, but it looked like it was nothing. And we did not even get to see
extra.
You gotta have magic, sir. It was a valiant effort. You know, it just happens, though.
Playing Requiem, are we going to see a Reverse Wasteland play?
Oh, 100%. Especially with Haunted Wasteland being known to, as dead, so...
You know, it's just occurred to me. Sponge just shot fire arrows. A bow has appeared somewhere.
Oh, that you know what?
Didn't even occur to me.
It's right hand. Because that was the only check he did.
Okay.
That or it's BK.
Yeah, it must have been higher up in spirit, otherwise he would have attempted to use the bow on his way up. So, bow must be somewhere.
Right hand.
With regard. Yeah, right hand. Maybe the other chest in the invisible hallway that I don't think we saw.
Yeah, it is just slightly annoying that it keeps the feed keeps crashing here as well. So.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, it makes it really hard to get the information, but thankfully, that bow helps a bit. But that definitely will push towards GTG, because this can be full cleared on the first trip. As well as getting HBA, so this is a very good play here.
Yeah,
I was
thinking
be getting his hovers.
Yeah, I was thinking I'd have been putting it off for the bow, but if a bow showed up, there's zero reason not to do this.
Yeah, especially since you can full clear Valley on the way out as well, with the peak and everything. Because Gerudo Fortress is foolish.
Our tracker coming in clutch here. Zora's Domain had a Hyrule Field path to Goma. It looks like those hover boots are gonna come in useful after all.
Fountain, because Domain had that hammer hint.
Looks like those hover boots are gonna come in useful after all, because the only thing I know that showed up in Field so far has been Din's Fire. And we got those fire arrows early, so really the only thing you need Din's for is to get into Shadow Temple.
Tektite was, Din's Fire. Oh, wow. Oh, wow.
So it's looking like we are going to see Shadow. Non-required Shadow finds a way. every time.
Every time, dude. Every time.
Every time.
No
No
matter
matter
what
what
the
settings
setting
you
is.
use.
Oh god, thinking about that reminds me of like the seeding async for mixed fools where Foolish Shadow was required to get into Ganon's tower.
Yeah, switching out the boss doors. Always good. Good times, good times.
Especially since the tower was decoupled from the castle, so that made it really interesting.
Wasn't even like there were items in there to entice you. Ooh, looks like we are gonna get to sea fishing this time.
Yeah, let's see. Probably, yeah, as expected.
These hearts
No
goes to
wonder why
explaining
they keep
why.
getting health. This game just
Yeah.
keeps giving it to them.
Every non-chest location is a heart of some kind. Hyrule Castle 1 is Zora's River to Twin Rova. I mean, even if Sponge...
Completely unsurprising. As I expected, there'd be a Twin Rova hint. The Mirror Shield would just make sense.
So
Is
Sponge will
that
be
or
chasing...
Requiem?
Sponge will be chasing Strength 3 here. Everything else has been pointed to from hints he's got.
Yeah. We know that if
You'll have
it
a good
is
understanding.
Dins, actually it is Dins in Hyrule Field.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure we've seen everything else in Hyrule Field, so...
Except the song, but actually it could still be like song, but like that's completely unrealistic. But we're still missing a magic, and
Yeah, I mean... Can it be the song? Maybe. Yeah, it could be. It could be the song.
well, if it's Sun Song, it can't. But if it's an item there, it's a
I
possibility.
mean, yeah, the song check. It could be the song check in Hyrule Field. Because we need to pick up 3 stones, the Ocarina of Time check is no longer an always hint. Basically, every other competitive setting it is, not in this one, because you need to pick up the stones anyway. And happy 1 hour, everyone. I don't know if there are bot commands, but I am Kalo. I have Alex Harold commentating with me, and a lot of thank yous to our 2 trackers today, Warren Traveller and Shaynok, who is in chat keeping us all in line, and VOD diving as well, going above and beyond. So thank you to all our volunteers helping us put this on.
Yeah,
And thank you to Sponge and Shelter for agreeing to be restreamed. They were my random pick of victims today. Yep, another.
It seems like we
another
got a
hook
long
shot.
shot while I was trying to find our 2 runner streams.
Yeah, a long shot in a hookshot locked location. So that hookshot in the well is a required item. That's true, Virgil. It is. It's a bow locked long shot as well. So that's prelude completion. That's prelude availability for Sponge. Long shot and irons. So that is one. That is the possibility of Strength 3 being on the song check. It has to be prelude, if anything. Strength 3 is not going to be on the Ocarina of Time.
Yep. Because Jaboot is indeed a stone, and Schultzer finding magic.
Magic.
So,
Fire Temple. We'll see if he gets Bowlocked, though. 'Cause it's nice for him to have magic there. Can leave Furor's Wind, but you know, if when Sponge goes in, he can beat Fire Temple. As soon as he picks up that hammer, that he knows where it is.
Yep.
So even though Schultzer can leave Furor's Wind and come back at any time, that's still time Sponge isn't going to need to use.
That's a blue fire bottle in there.
That is bottle percent, I believe, as well.
It's a very
1 hour, 3
cheeky little
minutes.
spot
That's good
for that.
timing. Good timing for bottle percent.
And Sponge is going child. Good play from
Yeah,
him
there's very little left as adult for him to do with the item set. It's been as expected from the reigning league champion, winner of Division 1 in the Ocarina of Time League. You're expecting this kind of routine at the top levels.
here. Yeah, this makes a lot of sense here. Yeah, this
Really,
is
we're
Hammer
down
Rush.
Really,
And
we're down to
it
the
looks like
known
he's going over
items.
to Castle here. Is maybe going to Castle as well.
If you don't do it now or at the end of this child loop, when are you gonna do it?
Yeah,
Never.
that is a very good point. But if things are true, if it's true with the hints being at Hyrule Castle 1, then he should find the Twin Rova hint, which means he'll definitely route that in afterwards.
And has the gold scale, so doesn't even need to go adult to pick it up. And just pick that up as a child.
Yep.
And we don't need the stream to know that. Thank you, Shaynok, for VOD diving that earlier to tell us what he is about to get.
But yeah, now I got them both, seeing both, but unfortunately they're quite a bit ahead than the feeds, so I would be
They're not
accidentally
actually that
spoiling.
far ahead.
They're almost a minute
Yeah,
ahead.
I've been refraining from commentating on the stuff we can't see.
Yeah, they're like a minute ahead. So I am refraining until it's like a minute past. This is not even the first time that something like this has happened to me on commentary either. I might just be like unlucky.
Wait, hold on a second.
I know,
You're
I'm
right.
just
He does have all
kidding
5. Shelter does have all 5 path hints on his tracker on his stream. I recognize the colors on that tracker. That's one of mine.
Yeah.
Oh, and unfortunately it's not a big chest in the lower boulder maze. If it was a big chest, you can use the hover boots to skip the bow requirement, but...
Yeah, not this time around. So there's a chance that he could be key locked out, but
yeah.
you don't know.
If there's a key in the
find
next
out.
check, he is fine.
Yeah. Although definitely hover's confirmed for sure already, which means that we probably have the very special case of Volve having a key or a highest Goron having a key, so it wouldn't be bad just to finish up Fire.
Yeah. Yeah, with Furor's Wind, it makes sense to do that.
And at some point, at least according to...
Oh, and just to note, it was a key in that lower jail, so he does not need the boat. He can just walk straight through this room.
Yep. Sponge doing child fishing. Because now that last strength could be literally anywhere um, because the other two are logically bomb locked, and no, even Hammer can't save that.
Due to the number of items in it, it's one of, I think it's the third densest dungeon. Shadow Temple's prime contender for having that strength 3.
Oh, 100%. In fact, I'm
if not
almost
that,
certain
then
it
the
probably
Deku tree
is.
behind it. Yeah, if not that, then it's the Deku tree behind going into Shadow Temple. Because there's 13 items in Shadow Temple, and another 7 in the Deku tree, so that Din's Fire is shaping up to be very important in the endgame. Hunter is making good progress, having all those path hints. I personally am not sure we'll see him stick around in Fire. We'll leave Thrower's Wind here.
I doubt he'll even leave that. I mean, you have Bolero, and it's not like a big challenge getting back, because you're skipping the checks along the way, which eat up a lot of time.
It's true, it's true. But regardless of the progress he's making, Schulter's end result is really going to come down to when does he go back to Zora's Fountain. That's completely unhinted. Even if he does pick up a Magic Strength 2 in Shadow Temple or the Deku Tree, it still needs to go back to the fountain at some point.
So we will be finding out if Frogs 1 is anything required. Because this is something that Schultzer did not get a long time ago. If this is anything, it might be a while before he comes back. Well,
that is awkward for him.
That's an awkward spot. That's two
And
strengths that are just awkwardly placed for Schultzer right now.
It's incredibly awkwardly placed because they are in the same area, but you're not going to go there at the same age. You know, that would be 2 separate trips. There's no way you go to Fountain as a child.
And Schultzer, Sponge is going to get that mirror shield. He's got the chicken to go with it. Making sure that no stone gets unturned.
Yeah. Well, I mean, especially when you have the Wavy Hero hint, with the path hint for Twin Rover here. You know, that's Strength 3, so either you're picking up something in Light Trial, or in Jabu. But there's only, 4 checks in Jabu. You're gonna check everything else. There's 0 point in not pushing it.
Yeah, like, for Schultzer, those 2 strengths are pretty close to being last locations, unfortunately. Thankfully, he will be basically roadblocked out of Spirit because of this, but he has a whole Shadow Temple he can essentially look through.
Yep. Ideal situation for Schultzer at this point is that optimal situation for Schultzer here is that the Kakiri sword is on Bongo. And his trip all the way through Shadow Temple won't be wasted.
Yep. You know, Schultzer should be able to... I'm pretty confident he can do the... if he needs to, he can just do the Bombchu statue.
Yeah.
And, yeah, Sponge gonna be dipping through here, makes sense. Better to do it now, because then you can see if there's a key that's required on Child's side. More specifically, I should say,
the biggest of keys.
Getting the big key?
Yeah. See, this is the awkward thing. early river, when you start with storms, is a. I can see why to do it. Getting those extra hints can be game making. It's orphaning that one check though.
Yeah, it's something like if you
Sure, it's not gonna burn you that often.
It's something that if you can ideally route in with like Zora's Domain, or in this case Zora's Fountain, could be pretty helpful. But this time around, it's going to burn Schultzer a bit.
Honestly, it was set up to be perfectly rooted. You know, having that scale directly next to the entrance of river.
Yeah.
You know, neither runner did that, but the possibility's there. I wouldn't be surprised if we see other runners having done that and getting a rather smooth strength 3 out of the mix.
Sponge is going to be getting that hammer, and then going back adult, and then probably going to go into Jabu. If I had to guess, either Jabu or he's going to go into Spirit, because both are pretty viable plays at the moment.
Could go into fire.
But yeah,
it's got 3 dungeons to do.
I did see Schultzer get lights in Fire Temple. It's just that the feed was frozen. I think it was like midway up. It was before Pierre, so you will be getting them on your way to beating Fire Temple.
The boss key, yeah. He bailed at the boss key, so it has to be somewhere before that.
So yeah, there's not much point in going deeper into fire then. Especially if you're Sponge.
Yeah.
But if Sponge can get the Hyrule Field hint, then the Dints will definitely
Sponge
be
has already gone. Sponge went to Hyrule Castle when the feed cut out, so there was Hyrule Castle 1 that was the Hyrule Field hint.
No, that was the Zora's River hint. Right, he would have gotten the Hyrule Field hint when he was going.
He'd been to Ice to get that Strength 2, what was his Strength 2, so...
So he would have gotten that hint at least. Yeah.
And when you're already in the castle area, I wouldn't be surprised if we see him going to pick up whatever's there before doing his dungeons. I mean, Sponge still has a lot to do, but can really do all of this in any order.
Yeah. Well, Sponge definitely grabbed the hints, or at least, if it's on the left side, he could have skipped the hint, but on the right side, you're definitely grabbing that.
Oh yeah. Yeah, if you're going to the fair, it would be madness to not check the stone.
And classic Boomerang on OGC Ferry.
Yeah. I mean, there was basically no other option.
This is Fire Temple into Spirit Temple, and then probably into Jabu. And then if Sponge finds that Dins, he's probably also gonna be going into Shadow Temple.
Yeah.
So, looking pretty linear honestly, on Sponge's side.
Honestly, when it comes to the Hyrule Field item, there are literally only 2 things left it could be. You know there is something that locks an item, that locks Deku Tree. It's either the Kakiri Sword itself, or it's Din's. It's the only other item we haven't seen.
Yep.
So, Sponge is essentially in no mode. All he needs to do is change the thought from, okay, it's not Kakiri Sword, it's Din's, I just need to go to Shadow instead. It's a straight line.
Yeah. Well, he knows that it couldn't be path like anyway because Sticky was a stone anyway. So
Yeah.
alternate time makes no sense here.
I'm pretty sure there were no other items in Hyrule Field.
No,
I can remember seeing.
it was a rupee, and that was about it.
I mean, Sponge knows Sponge isn't in no mode in his mind at the moment, but he's about to stumble into magic and lights. He's going one after the other. At
Yep.
that point, it's a straight line to the end.
And Shelter is like midway through Shadow and still hasn't found anything yet.
Yeah.
You know what
Well,
there's a possibility of it being actually on Saria's. Like on Darunia specifically.
True. That would be particularly awkward for Shelter. That would mean he'd need to go into training grounds as well to pick up a long shot.
Yeah. And it'd be more or less an unhinted. Because Din's does technically lock Saria's.
Nah, I mean, it hard locks it. Even then,
Yeah.
if Sponge doesn't find the Kokiri sword in Shadow, there is nothing to do except go beat Water.
Yep.
And Water's even if he didn't have the direct knowledge that Din's was path, Water Temple's foolish.
Yep.
So any which angle you look at this from, it's a very straight line for Sponge.
And Schultzer's just setting up for the pot room here. There's a big chest. Is it it? No! Oh
Blue
my
fire
god.
arrows. Honestly,
That could
Blue
steer
fire
Schultzer
arrows.
in the direction.
yeah, just to clarify, for this tournament we have blue fire arrows enabled, which means that the ice arrows now defrost blue fire. Defrost
And they can
the
be
red
used
ice.
on mud walls too.
Do they work on mud walls?
Yeah.
I know blue fire
Because
from
it
the
just
bottom.
applies a blue fire. It just applies a blue fire property to the arrows. That's all it does.
I do know it's still not in logic. I know blue fire from a bottle.
It's not in logic.
I'm sure that the arrows haven't been added either, or I know the arrows haven't been added either. But at least for Shelter, it looks like he's gonna have to go pretty deep into Shadow, one way or another.
And he's got bomb cheese for that trick as well, so.
Yeah. Now, which setup does Shelter use? It's one of the tricks that I see that basically everyone has a different setup.
So basically, like Stone Tower Temple, like the left side jump.
Yeah.
It's that one where that one trick where there's so many unique permutations for it. Another one would be like KZ skip. Actually, quite a few different variants of it.
The recoil jump in Forest to get to the Floor Master.
That also
That's
has
another
quite a
one
few
that
variants
everyone
as
does
well.
differently.
Sponge
Sponge is
is... No, not yet. He's more or less in no mode.
Sponge is not in no mode until he finishes fire.
Yeah.
He's in go mode, he just doesn't know it. Everything that he needs is on a straight line through the dungeons that he already can complete.
Yeah, where
Yeah, that's
Schultzer
true.
has
Schultzer has
two
now picked up.
Schultzer has two
Schultzer now has picked up
unfortunately
every arrow.
isolated strengths. One being on Frog's 1 and one being in Fountain Fairy.
Yeah, as unfortunately. One of his strengths is going to be a last location. Which one is a matter of routing, but I don't see him not last location in one of them. Probably the river one. it's going to be Frog's one, because he now will have picked up, because he'll go training grounds after this, and will pick up every we'll pick up basically every adult check available before ever going child again. And when you're child, there's what? Gerudo Valley and Frog's one.
Oh, Gerudo Valley is something you can almost do entirely as adult with bomb shoes.
Actually, yeah, that's a good point. He's going to be doing that after training grounds.
Oh my goodness.
Is it going to be on Bongo?
Is it gonna be on Bongo? Or the manager?
Did I speak it
or
into existence?
Worst case scenario, it is the meme dream. It's on Dad. Dad came back with his sword.
He does have a key, so this is an item.
Yep.
Good timing for the stream to cut out.
Classic. Well, the fact that he is still going now means
he's still
that
here.
it was not anything of value, unfortunately.
Now, hopefully it doesn't cut out during this setup, because I want to see what Schultzer does. Oh, he's starting from this side. It's a new one to me then.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense. Getting the angle here, that should get it then.
It's a new one. Seems very consistent.
But yeah, it's either Bongo or Darunia has the sword.
Yeah.
We won't know until he beats Bongo. If it's Darunia, that's incredibly cursed.
Yeah, that's a swing in the
Schultzer has
tail.
to go and find the long shot.
Yeah, I mean, it's not going to hurt him, because he's going to find the long shot on his search for the strengths anyway.
Yep. Well, here it comes. The Bongo fight, but like with a hook shot. And plus,
We all
Sponge is
love
gonna have to
hook
do
Bongo.
this anyway. But it is bongoing time.
A nice, smooth spin attack, Bongo.
Yeah, the only bow we've seen so far is strength 2 walks. Oh, that's a good point. Absolutely. Because it was in Spirit Temple, which I'm pretty sure was on right hand. Right hand or like boss key chest. But I'm more inclined to believe it's right hand. Or not right hand, left hand.
I mean, what does Schultzer really need? Is that
There was a few keys.
The slingshot? It's not a path slingshot.
Yes, Dad has it. Let's go. Gotta play music for him. You gotta show him our support. That is the second time in a row. Although this one is not nearly as obviously spelled out until, you know, you dip. Because fire arrows were so early that it could not be a fire source on its own.
Yeah. Fire arrows were quite literally the first check in the game.
Oh god, you're right. That's a slingshot locked slingshot, by the way.
Incredibly
Because
slingshot
it locked
slingshot.
hovers. Does it lock hovers? Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. One play I could see Schultzer doing is actually checking Minuet to see if it's if it's the item. You know, like we know it's vanilla, but like
Yeah.
he's hoping he could skip logic here because this could just be like an item here.
Yeah, I
would
mean,
also
I'm pretty
technically
sure
be
that's why we
hidden log.
pretty sure that's why we saw Sponge checking it earlier.
Yeah, that's what he was probably
Could have been
thinking, too.
it could have been good movement. It could have been the item.
But unfortunately for him, it's not quite all sunshine and rainbows here.
Oh. Okay, yeah, the commands look like they are pulling from the Wall 1 sheet, I think it must be.
Yeah. That's a tad
So those
bit
are wrong.
unfortunate.
Those are wrong. The paths were Death Mountain Trail to Baronade, which were bombs. The bombs were to get the... Sorry, I just have to comment. I love that. Hover boots.
Yeah, that is such a fun strat. I use
yourself.
it more often these days because it's so fast.
Honestly, I'm pretty sure that's why Shelter came over here.
I mean, it's a good reason, isn't it?
I would. But yeah, back to what I'm saying. Death Mountain Trail is path to Baronade, as there was your first bomb bag in the Storm's Grotto. Now that's to get one of your 3 strengths out of the King Dodongo boss room. The other one was Lost Woods to Volvagia, as there was a... Honestly, it might be the Slingshot and the Scale path there, as there was a Slingshot on Ocarina game to get a Scale on the target in the woods, to get the Hover Boots off of the Lab Dive. Now, outside Gaz Castle is path to Baronade, that was the Boomerang. Hyrule Field is path to Queen Goma for Din's Fire, which appears to be for beating... It appears to be for beating Shadow Temple to get Zaria's Song on all dungeons. And the last one was Zora's River to Twin Rover, because there was a Sphere 1 Mirror Shield there.
And it looks like
that's everyone caught
Schultzer
up
is
on the
making his way into ice, so he will at least get strength 2. But yeah, that strength on Frogs 1 is gonna be isolated for a little bit, unfortunately. He might get it, like, when he does, like when he gets the Saria song.
Yeah, he's gonna get strength 2 here, and then go to Spirit. Once he beats Spirit,
he will have that hammer, and he'll probably rush GTG into Water Temple at that point. Schultzer not happy with that. I don't blame him at all.
No. If you beat Spirit, you start chasing the Din's Fire.
Yeah.
You start chasing your way to the Deku Tree and hope Strength 3 shows up on the way. Now, it might show up on the way, as long as he does loop Frogs 1 into it somehow.
He's probably going to do Frogs 1 after Deku, full clearing Deku, I feel like. Because Deku's just way more check dense.
Actually, you know what? I think this isn't going to be as disastrous a last location as it could be, simply because of the location of Solution's location where it is. You have to do basically everything in the game already.
Yeah.
You need to do training grounds. You need to do the Foolish Shadow. Yeah.
Foolish Water. Shadow is loaded with stuff, but just not stuff we needed.
Yeah. This one really comes down to your routing. How efficiently can you do everything in the game?
Yeah, the worst part is it's largely unhinted.
That's not the worst part. The worst part is that Shelter has to do ice. with the blue fire arrows and no bow. I mean, that's
Yes.
just painful.
That is painful, knowing that, oh my goodness, where are my...
I have blue fire arrows. I have magic. What I don't have is the easiest of the three to have.
And you definitely still want to just grab Serenade, because the song is just super handy to have. Well, Sponge is fighting off Twin Rova. So we'll get hot and cold on one side, and just cold on the other. Oh man, Ganon's castle probably has like a lot of duplicate items, like bows and such. We've only found one bow so far.
I mean, there still could be one in the Deku Tree. The
You wanna
Deku Tree
know-
is also 7 checks that aren't. Could be something.
Yep, and that, yep, and K-Sword is on Dad. We found out through the hints, 2 hints. Through logic, it's kind of cursed, to
Yeah,
say the
we
very
have
least.
Din's Fire Path, but we got Fire Arrows as the very first check in the game. And we have fully completed Shadow Temple. Nothing in there.
Schultzer needs to go to GTG to get his long shot, but he needs to go to Spirit to get his bow on right hand. At least Schultzer can do Spirit like this time around and get the bow,
Yeah.
but just get everything here. So like it's not a bad thing here. But that strength 3 on Frogs 1 is going to be a little bit of a last location for Schultzer, unfortunately.
I mean, basically everything Schultz is going to do from here in the Strength 3 hunt is going to be progress. What you do next is you go to Training Grounds, you complete Training Grounds, and you pick up the long shot basically at the end of your loop anyway. Then you... where do you go from there? Yeah, then you do Water Temple, and then you go Child to pick up the Kokiri Sword, and you do Deku Tree, and then you're basically dumped as close to River as you're ever going to be. So you just finish up that Child check, and then head Adult for the rest of what you can do. So this last location is at the end of a big progression change. A progression chain.
Now the question is, what's Sponge gonna do? He still needs to check Hyrule Field if he has that hint.
Yeah.
I have
He
a
has the hint, it's
feeling
just a matter of...
Probably gonna do Jabu first. Oh, that's where one of the other slingshots was. Let's see, is that slingshot locked? No, it technically isn't. So it's not the slingshot.
Yeah.
So it was for the scale.
Okay. Oh, we knew it was for the scale anyway, but whether it was
Yeah.
also the slingshot's a different matter. It's going to be slightly awkward for Sponge here, having just gone Child to go pick up what I presume he assumes is the Kokiri Sword, only to find an item that requires being an adult.
Well, yeah. At least he can grab it as Child, though, because he does, in fact, have the gold scale.
He does, but he's going to have to go adult. It's added 1 extra age change, which in the grand scheme of things isn't a huge damage.
It isn't a huge deal with these settings. Like, when you have Prelude, it's better than the alternative. Like, it makes sense going Child here.
It also makes sense picking it up as a Child because the Serenade takes you closer than doing Prelude and walking out does. Use Serenade and take the Owl. It's faster than using Prelude.
So I'm pretty sure Sponge is just gonna do, just like, he'll probably skip the checks, I think. If he's been,
Yeah.
if he has that hint, like, in the back of his mind, then he just saves a lot of time.
He has one item left to pick up, and one unfulfilled path hint. And even if that unfulfilled path hint isn't directly the Kakiri sword, there is no additional item that could be in Jabu that matters. So at this point, there's no reason to do it.
Plus, the age change wouldn't be all that bad for him anyway, because then he could just save quit and just get to Calzoron City, knowing that it's Darunia. Oh man, thinking about it, Dad having sharp pointy sticks at his home, not exactly a very safe place for a child. But that's a full Shadow Temple that Sponge is gonna have to go through. As cursed as that sounds. It does look like Sponge is getting worried about where this K-Sword possibly could be. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking too, is a possibility. And chances are he'll probably also skip it on the way out as well.
I'm not sure. He's doing the checks here. If the Kakiri sword doesn't show up here, I personally can't see a reason that you wouldn't go check the hint stone. I mean, it's not just that he's on a hunt. He's on a hunt with a path hint missing.
Yeah, if you skip the one on the left, then yeah, I can see why he's doing these.
If you're skipping these, it would make sense to check the hint stone, because when you meet Jabu, you're going to be dumped next to it anyway.
To the one on the right, but not on the one on the left. Because you're in
So
the
the
dive
bridge and
spot.
Gan... Sorry, question from the chat. Bridge and Gan's boss key requirements. So the bridge is 3 spiritual stones. So the 3 spiritual stone dungeons. And the Ganon's boss key is hard planned to the light arrow cutscene. So the shadow and spirit medallions.
Yep.
Shadow and spirit medallions, and then walk to the Temple of Time.
We need the Kukiri sword to open up the way to Deku Tree.
Yeah.
With the
Not
obviously with the Deku Shield, but with no Shop Sanity on, the Deku Shield is not exactly much of a problem to find.
Very conveniently placed, right next to Mido.
But we're effectively just like 2 boss fights could be happening soon. One against Twinrova, one against Baronade.
I know which one I'd rather. I'd rather fight.
Yeah, Twinrova's kind of annoying.
I mean, I've done enough practice on Twin Rover that, you know, you can start calling out which one's to fire, but Baronade is just the most fun boss to fight.
Yeah.
if you do it well. As long as you hit the
Projectile
strats,
list
the
Twin
most fun thing in the
Rovas.
game.
Projectile list Twin Rova is truly an experience that you don't get outside of
Yeah.
like ER or glitch the rule sets.
Hookshot and Hoversless Bongo is another fun one.
Child bongo, but only with sticks. It's not in
Child
logic,
bongo
but
with
you can do it.
I need more than 10. Can
No,
you
you
break the
can
stick on
set
the
up
wall above it?
Yeah, you can, and then just use that instead.
I did see that being done in the
That was a tech that
French
you could-
restream from it. Yeah, in the
You
mixed
saw
pools
that
tournament
sometimes
recently, I
in
did
mixed
see it done.
pools. Another one that's a fun one is Child Borfa.
Yeah. Don't think you'd see that in a race, though.
Nope. Unless you were playing glitched, or again, something with like ER, crazy amounts of ER. Yeah, you're typically not going to be seeing that. As one boss is about to die, another one is just starting.
Here we are, let's see the fast Baronade kill. It is awkward, doesn't matter how good you are. It's a short time frame to hit this next boomerang strike. Nobody gets it 100% of the time.
Oh, I can safely say, yeah,
I think
words.
Sponge got it that time.
Yeah. I can safely say these beautiful 3 words. Or 3 beautiful words. Clean Baronade fight.
Yeah. Clean Baronade fight always feels great. Bad Baronade fight does not.
Bad here. Yeah, like, it's recoverable. But, like, man, does it feel bad.
It's recoverable, but it often feels random whether it actually does recover or not.
Now, let's hope for Sponge's sake he does actually read the hint.
Where is Schultzer off to today? Doesn't look like he is going to read it.
No. Unfortunately.
But he is serenading. So that implies to me that he's about to go to Type.
Yep.
I think he's cleaned all of Lake up.
Schultzer.
Cleaned everything as a child up, basically.
What you doing? He's calling a horse. All right. Either this is going to Fortress in the forward direction.
Yeah, he's probably trying to do Valley first.
Yeah, that's reasonable. Although, that's a big pose play right there.
Is a big pose. Maybe he's handing it in for money.
But he's got a full wallet.
Yeah, it has never stopped Bill Gates.
Because the wallet doesn't get full in real life, unfortunately. It's bottomless.
Yeah. Stunks go up, they never come down.
And Sponge is going to find that Din's fire, so he will probably...
I'm gonna say a bomb bag.
Nope.
Ah.
Not even that.
Is Sponge picking up his Din's fire? Is he just going to... Because the thing is, Sponge is on the right track now, but if he doesn't have that Hyrule Field hint, when you beat Shadow, is he going to start chasing all dungeons? Is there anything left for him to chase that isn't dungeons?
I don't think
10 skulls. 10 skulls. We haven't handed in 10 skulls yet.
Yeah. Probably going to do adult archery too on Schultzer's side. If he's routing this in with skulls. So I wouldn't
While
be
being an
surprised
adult,
if
I
we
can
saw that.
Yeah, while being an adult, I can fully see Sponge doing both of these checks before all dungeons. But we really are down to fringe material here.
Yeah. Like, uh, we have we have a lot of information because we have the hints between two different runners as well as item locations between them. Obviously, if they had that kind of information, that would be considered cheating. That's not acceptable.
Yeah, it's easy to root. It's easy to pull together the logic when you aren't also moving your thumbs at the same time.
Yeah.
I mean,
It's
rooting
easier to
and logic
backseat
are
drive.
multitasking. Yeah.
It's so much easier to backseat drive than it is to actually drive. Because you're not the one with the hands on the steering wheel. But it looks like Schultzer's probably going to be going the forward direction to Gerudo Valley, I want to say. Because he doesn't really have a whole lot left. So yeah, it'd be Gerudo Valley into GEG. Those are his most dense locations. Yeah. And once he finds that long shot, he'll probably, after full clearing GTG at this point, he'd probably go and do water, get the song.
Just running through my head. Did we see Wasteland?
Wasteland's into dead.
Into dead. Okay, yeah. Basically, once he's done this, there are no real locations left in the game that aren't Frogs 1 and Irinia's Joy. Yeah, those are basically the only two dungeons. Only two checks left. Honestly, I don't think Schultzer's that far behind. He has obviously going to be last locationing this third strength, but
He's already done Shadow. That's a pretty
Yeah.
big time advantage.
When it comes to rooting the entire seed, he's done pretty well. It's just unfortunate for him that the end of this big long route, that he's isolated about 3 checks in the game: 10 skulls, archery, and Frogs 1. It's just unfortunate that strength 3 happened to be on one of them.
Yep.
I mean, in settings like this, it's impossible not to orphan something to go fast. You do need to make some concessions rather than clearing everything in the most obvious way.
But at this point for Sponge, he's pretty much just looking for Kakiri's sword.
Yeah. And for Sponge, the locations left is just a sort of leisurely meander through a single path. Even if he doesn't have the information, he only got 10 skulls and archery left to do that isn't all dungeons.
Yeah. But you could also metagame that if it was those 2 checks, someone would be finished right around now.
You could, but then, you know, you've picked up 2 potentially awkward strengths. So metagaming when you've already got something awkward. I mean, he pushed ice early. That was a bold play. Push ice when he did. So he's already maybe in the mindset that he's made up some good time by picking up that strand. may not be the right time for metagaming.
Well, the Strength 2 in Fountain's not like the one I'm concerned about. It's more of the one of Frogs could be annoying to get to. But I could also see someone just holding off the river until, you know, they get scale or something.
I mean, I know I would have. It's if I get a scale or storms at the start of the seeds, that there really isn't a point in going river as an adult, because you're going to be going through child booms anyway. You might as well just leave it, do the storms check while you're there. The long shot is on the eye statue in training grounds.
Yep.
Pierre was the boss key. Pierre was something else. Was it not the eye statue rather than scarecrow chest?
It's the hidden, like, Pierre would be like the hidden room in the back of GTG. I usually just call it the hidden room.
It wasn't scare. Okay, I mustn't have been looking at the right. I must be getting seed bleed, which is weird considering I haven't played since Monday.
And I've been busy trying to practice Wind Waker and actually getting good at it. Or trying to get good at it.
What season are they on now?
7 for standard.
Season 7 already.
Yeah. Sponge seeing all these gold chests and then it's like, nope.
Oh, that's Shadow Temple all over. If you're one item away, Shadow Temple has at least 6 big chests, and none of them are what you want. Or if they are what you want, is the last one.
This should. Alright, I think that's all of them.
Yeah, that's just showing off. You've got Thrower's Wind Sponge. Just do what everyone else does. No point showing off with bomb shoes.
There's every reason to show off with bomb shoes. It's less menuing. And you can avoid menuing here just by using bomb shoes to kill the spider instead.
Not quite fast enough with the... Well, it wasn't that he wasn't fast enough, but the angle of the backwalk, a little bit off. Wasn't quite fast enough to avoid the third fan.
In terms of lead, Sponge is just barely a Jabu ahead of Schultzer. Because even if Sponge does, like, water after this, there's still, like,
Yeah,
a
I think
Jab
that's fair.
Schultzer has to do.
As long as there isn't something that we've forgotten that Schultzer hasn't done, just come straight out, do Valley, and then go to water.
Because Schultzer had a fairly strong early game.
Yeah. And at this point, I'm pretty sure Schultzer will be playing for Strength 3 is in Deku.
Yeah. But tasting all that bait along the way.
Yeah. On both sides.
That's what the wallet was. Because I think that was when Sponge's feed crashed, unfortunately.
Yeah, we did see the wallet. That's where the bow was. Yeah, Sponge can go mode Deku. Which is always... It's not that much faster, but it's always feels good to do.
No, it
You
is
run in,
faster.
you
You're
dins
not
fire.
climbing.
Yeah, you run in, you dins fire. You just B1 skip to the boss. Bam, you're in and out. 2 minutes. 2 minutes 30.
There's a long shot for Schultzer, so at least he can go and beat Water Temple now.
Yeah. And doesn't need to do the toilet either.
Toilet's a key. No, it was junk, wasn't it?
It was a something, yeah.
Yeah,
Not
it was
key, but
hinted.
something not important. Arrows or something. Deku nuts, that was what it was, yeah. I knew there was some. It was striking me that it was something, but not anything important. There was a Deku nut capacity, and I'm pretty sure it was that. I do remember because the hint looked really long. Longest
yeah,
hint name on a 3-word item.
This was the big key that we didn't see when Schultzer was going through.
Yeah. Like a piece of heart. Oh, that's another awkward thing. Sponge hasn't done Valley as far as I'm aware.
Yeah.
Without but that's next to water anyway. But that is something. That's another, you know, drips of time coming off if you go Valley before water. The Schultzer isn't going to have to pay that much attention to. Is routing better for that condition?
Yeah, I sincerely doubt that Sponge will do Valley or like Village. I think he's just gonna push and gamble on 80 at this point.
Yeah.
I think it
Maybe
just
gamble
makes more
nice.
sense.
Must have a good song to sing. You get that beat per minute for the stun lock on Bonko. Schultzer doing what I always forget to do. Set Ferore's win next to the boss. Even when we were playing League and he started with Ferore's Wind. Would just always forget to come here. Sponge not even deigning to pick up that slingshot.
But yeah, this would probably be the best time if he was gonna do archery and skulls. Be to do it here. Whereas for
I think
Valley,
he's
you're
entirely
probably
put
gonna.
skulls off.
Yeah, I don't blame him.
Unless he picked up skulls while the feed was while his feed was down, which is very much a possibility. Maybe he's already at 10, just hasn't handed in yet.
At
Looks
least water
like
is foolish.
just a lovely early, yeah, a lovely early water temple as well.
Yeah, very much appreciated. No complaints on my
Foolish.
end.
Foolish, and you don't even need to lower the water. Actually, you got Ferore's Wind, so you didn't need to lower the water anyway, but... I'm surprised. Normally, Foolish Water has the boss key in River. Central Pillar.
Central
Somewhere where you
Pillar
need to do
is
half a
usually
dungeon
the
anyway.
easily the worst spot for it. And
Depends on what kind of router you are. Do you leave Central Pillar for last, or do you do it halfway through? I always used to leave it for last, but I've been burnt by it enough that I now begrudgingly do it for the boss key.
Sponge just looks like he's going into field. Because he did not do, like, Southern Field. Because that was Schultzer that did that.
There are hints there either. I mean, we don't have the second field to Goma in. We know there's one in Zora's Fountain, but...
Yeah.
It's out there somewhere.
No, the question is, what does Sponge do after? Or is he gonna do, Valley?
When you're already out here, I would expect Valley into water.
I mean, it's not even that big of a time loss, commitment for that at this point.
At this point, you're already cleaning up Sphere 1s. You might as well go into Valley and clean up those two.
And Schultzer is going to get Saria's, so...
First runner to get there. So why do we know Din's path and not magic from fire?
Because
so
there's Hyrule Field.
Path, yeah, the path was Hyrule Field to Goma, and the only thing in Hyrule Field was Din's fire.
Oh, that was a bow on in there.
Oh.
So you could have got beaten water and got your bow that way.
Yeah. You'd have to be in dire straits to do that, though.
I mean, considering the seed, that's a very real possibility.
What, foolish unrequired water over dipping required spirit? That's true, the long shot was bow locked.
True. That's very true. Mario's just staring at me and I don't like it.
Yeah. Straight into the soul. Hopefully the feed comes back on before he gets to Goron City.
Yes, I do want to see Darunia.
Darunia and a child.
Oh my
Butter
goodness. Just
Oh, did we
after
just
that
miss it?
too. Yep. We're gonna have to wait until he presses the pause menu.
Sponge serenading. Gonna do shoot the sun and probably then head into water, I guess.
Oh, shoot the sun was nothing. As expected. Oh my god!
There's our other magic.
Oh my god. But yeah, I don't think Schultzer's gonna be skipping the Strength on Frogs one. He'll probably do it after Dimitri, but like, he's no way you're skipping it.
I mean, what do you skip it in favor of? You've run out of things to skip it in favor of doing.
Yep, basically. And there it is. It was indeed on Dad.
Of course it was. Of course it was. Had to be
Dad
the worst
having
occasion.
sharp, pointy sticks. Mario with a sword is not the most pleasant of image. I can say that for sure.
It always feels great when the boss beats in one of the first two. Deku is logically blow locked, correct? I'm not sure if they're... Remember, where was the other bow? We've seen all three now. Okay, I've got a track. We've got the tracker sheet.
Oh no, more bait.
More bait. There's another bow.
Nope.
Oh, it's the Goron one.
Oh, no, wait, never mind. You'll probably get that strength 3 because there's nothing left otherwise. And then
Did we ever get the
where
Goron
are you hitting? I don't think so.
Don't think we have. Yeah, I think it's a sometimes hint in this setting anyway. There's only the claim check, I think.
But you'd still rush Zora's River before that. Because you're not going really... You don't really want to go back as child here. Other than...
Oh, no.
Other than for baiting Baronade.
As I'm saying, I can't think of something to do that isn't Frogs 1. What is there left to do? Genuinely, there, I can't think of anything.
Yeah, I agree. And Sponge will probably get that Saria song. Now's a good time to get it.
Oh yeah, at this point, Sponge is fully committed to all dungeons instead of 10 skulls, or again, what does he even have left to do? With runners are last locationing, but not all last locations are created equal.
Yep. Like, I could actually see someone getting that Strength in Frogs one really early.
I think a good number of our runners in the race room are gonna have had that as their first run. I can 100% see people skipping River to begin with, getting that scale on Target in the Woods, picking up the Sarias, picking up the song at Saria, the Song of Time, and then going straight into River.
Yeah.
What I would have done.
I could also see,
Yeah,
the Fountain Fairy with choose early. Like, if you get ZL, you definitely probably would push for that. Like, I could see someone actually, theoretically, God Route all 3 of those strengths. But then, like, basically get choked over by, like, the whole dancing dad logic.
Yeah. No matter what your early route is, you're not picking up Saria's song until the end. You're not pushing Saria's song when you know that the Minuet song A isn't required and B was dead anyway. You've got Skull Kid hinted. Or his temple's pre-completed.
Yep.
Quite literally one thing in the game all dungeons locks, and I say it happened to be that. Of course it was. It was almost guaranteed to be that. Idobot runs solely on spite.
Randobot does like blood. Oh no! Yeah, he's chasing the claim check. Oh, but I think he has it set up
Not
so
run
that he
first.
can scum, so he has it, like, saved, like, so he can scum an age transition. Because this is a play you sometimes see, is, like, then he saves a lot of time, like, with all of that. And there it is.
And we are seeing it on Sponge's chat. There we go. There we go.
Easy.
At
Now we
long
just...
last.
So, I could see, like, an early to mid 220 finish. Depending on... for Sponge.
Sponge, okay, well, you're talking about 2 minutes for Deku with Din's Fire.
With
Probably
all the
looking at
cutscenes.
Yeah, you're talking about 2:16:17 for the age change. And probably another
Then
6 minutes on
the
top of that.
bridge.
Yeah.
That's,
6 minutes to climb the tower and beat Ganon. Yeah, I think you're
yeah,
talking about 2:23,
pretty
2:24.
close. Yeah, like early to mid, as I said. Schultz are not going to be very happy to find these frogs. I've been holding on to his ability to lift granite, the obelisks.
$25 max. Well, I wouldn't say max on anything, because, you know, Sponge might die to Ganon 8 times. You never know.
I don't see that happening.
He might. Ooh, didn't catch both webs with the one Din's Fire. Feels bad. Time loss.
And Schultzer's not going to be too far behind, but Jabu is still a longer dungeon.
Yeah, Schultzer not happy with that strength, and it will feel bad because you started with Storms and you went River as adult early. Perfectly valid routing decision. Has burnt you in the worst way possible. But the saving grace for Schultzer has been that the secret full clear anyway. It hasn't full cleared in the most efficient way because of that isolation, but it's not going to be sizably behind.
But yeah, we will see, well, hopefully see Schultzer's boomerang color, assuming feed is behaving. I feel like that's the theme of today, is the feed is going, nah, I don't feel like working right now.
The important moments, yeah.
It's like SpongeBob as a robot.
Or if you can hear the seagulls through my mic, something has upset all of them outside.
Oh no. Did someone, like, punch a seagull or, like, take their food?
I mean, it could be that. I mean, it might be, you know, plastic bags stuck in a hedge or something. It could be anything.
Sponge getting the fairy here.
Oh,
He's
Sponge
for
going
magic.
for depth perception here. There we go.
To be fair, though, that spot's kind of annoying.
Oh, touching the hitbox of the big fairies is awful. When you don't have depth perception to worry about. When you're in a fixed camera angle, and Link is 8 pixels tall,
It's
Yeah, it's
even
gonna take
worse.
you a few tries.
Oh my god, it's like the same hitbox as the silver rupee. It is cursed.
In the normal fairies, hitbox is bad. I don't even think the big fairy has a different hitbox from the normal fairy.
Of course not. That'd be too much work.
Oh yeah,
I'm way too proud of the small fairy code to change it up. Obviously.
Smooth little Foss. Very well practiced. Very well practiced route up here.
But yeah, if it, like, AD being like 220 sounds about right for these settings.
Yeah, that pre-completed
At a
dungeon
top
really
level.
does, especially when it's Forest Temple.
Yeah, because
yeah,
Forest Temple is
you don't-
easily like another like 12 to 15 minutes.
Yeah, Forest Temple, you don't mind seeing as a required dungeon because the number of items needed are low. But it being pre-completed just means that, you know, that's 13 minutes you don't need to do in the seed. And that's on the low end.
Yeah.
I mean, like, before they added the number of time saves in the earlier days of Rando, that was, you know, 15, 16 minutes at competitive level. Slow block pushes. Oh, cutscenes.
Yep.
Slow mag.
Even something as simple as like D-pad boots saves quite a bit of time.
But I will have to point out here, as good a runner as Sponge is, it is a very deep mistake to put the bow on C down.
My bow placement is pretty much C left.
Bow can be on C left or C right. I will accept you. C left's right. Up. Not down. Not down.
That just sounds like a skill issue either way.
Was there anything that we didn't see? There was one wallet that we didn't see. Didn't see the big Auron sword.
Well, those would be in Ganon's castle, basically. Guess that's
Yeah,
the only
one
location
bow.
we didn't see.
Yeah, I think there's only 3 things we didn't actually see this seed. We saw all the bottles. We saw Neri's Love. We saw the Stone of Agony. We're almost at big chest %.
But now it's time for cutscenes to the boss. Because that's truly the most dangerous part of this boss fight, is all the cutscenes you have to watch.
No, for me it's Link putting away his sword instead of rolling. He's his own worst enemy. We didn't pick up Sun Song. There we go, that's the other thing that we didn't do.
Yeah, not that it really matters.
Very smooth phase 1.
Have we gotten any finishers, or is Sponge going to be our first finisher?
Well, we'll look at the end. Look at the end.
Yeah. I'm trying to go in without
Legally smooth phase
spoilers.
2.
Yep, and there it is.
Either way, it's going to be a good time. Above estimate. I said 2:23.
Well, I
Keep
said
that
it
by
would
about
be
5
like
minutes
a low to mid
Yeah.
220, so. We're gonna get those GGs in stat.
There we go, with a race time of 2:22:43. That is Sponge finishing in second place. GG's to him.
Dang.
As said, very good time for the amount of stuff he needed to do in this seed, especially considering the all dungeons was not hinted at.
Who stole first
Well,
then?
not hinted at until late. First place, good games to Master Alex, finishing in a 2:19:32, so very, very close. Thunder's very close behind.
Yeah.
And we'll shut the race room again, wait for Schultzer to finish.
Yes, Schultzer's not too far behind.
Yep, Schultzer's already in go mode, just a Baronade, an age change, and climbing the tower himself.
And this was a mostly clean Baronade fight.
Yeah. One painful routing decision early on that has burned him, but the time has definitely been saved by excellent routing elsewhere. It's just a shame that the end of that very well laid out route happened to be his go mode item.
Yeah, because Schultzer had the hint. So had he done frogs early on, that definitely would have been a huge payout for him. Hello and GGs.
Yo, thank you for the GGs.
Welcome in
funny
Sponge.
scene.
Yep, GG's.
Yo,
Yeah.
Alex as well. Let's go. Let's go.
Yeah, I saw that. Or
Oh yeah,
I heard.
great time from Alex as well. You far behind. So your first opinions on this seed, although I think I can tell what your opinion's gonna be.
I actually have a question. Is there a path to Goma?
Yeah,
useful?
it was Hyrule Field.
Okay. Oh, Dins. Oh. Okay.
And you want to know where that hint was?
Behind
Zora's
Deku.
Fountain.
Oh, it's the other hint. I was thinking about that. I'm like, what if that path hint's just chilling on that other hint stone, and I didn't look at it.
Yeah, unfortunately, it was chilling there. I gotcha.
Alright. I mean, I'd probably save a couple of minutes this seed if I grabbed that, but I mean, ultimately, the seed is so bad that you either last location the Rang or the Kokiri sword.
Yeah, that's what Schultzer did.
Yeah.
He last location the Rang because he didn't get the strength off of Frog's one until it was literally his last location.
Yeah. Schultzer went to River as adult after CAC. And
Yeah. I was thinking the the Fountain strength would be the one that would get left behind, but the Frog's one strength, especially if you're an early River bro, yeah, that'll really screw you.
Like, unless you immediately think about the whole scale situation and you do that first. Yeah, it's a very real possibility.
it's a perfectly valid decision either way. I mean, you're powering through some Sphere 1s and getting 3 hints if you go there early. If you don't go there, you save it for Child because you have started with Storms. Both plays make sense. It's just unfortunate that one of them burns you quite hard.
Yeah, there's always one of these seeds every year where there are like 4 or 5 different ways to play the seed. 4 of them mean you last location, your last item, and the 5th is just if you read the spoiler log or something. Like
Yeah. This one, there's 4 ways of playing it, and all of them result in doing everything in the game anyway.
Yeah.
I mean, even if you had picked up that Hyrule Field hint, what would you have saved? 10 skulls?
I didn't even turn in 10 skulls.
Didn't? Okay.
Yeah, I think that would have been 100% the last location.
So there you go,
I
you would have saved that.
well, I mean, think of depends on when I get the hint. If I get that hint when I go to Ice Cavern early, I would. It's tough to say. I could see it saving a lot of time because I just start skipping everything once I pick up Strength 3. Because at that point, I would be like, oh, my Kokiri sword's just in field. Let me go get it. I'd get Dins, follow that, get nothing. Do water because at that point I'd already done GTG. Although it is possible that I would have done field before GTG had I gotten that hint. Because, field did Goma get the Kokiri sword.
Yeah.
Really,
Just
all that's doing
unfortunate.
is just moving when you do GTG to
Yeah,
after
it's
Shadow instead of before Shadow.
yeah, because then I wouldn't have the long shot yet, so I'd still have to do GTG. I'd get the long shot finish, and then probably do water after that. So I don't want to say I would have won, but I would have definitely saved a couple of minutes of just doing random stuff.
Yeah, you definitely would have.
But that's okay. I mean, points are points. This is going to be a really nice point total for sure. First or second doesn't really matter to me, as long as the points are good, and the points were definitely good. So I'm happy. Good run.
Yep, and Schultzer is heading into the Ganondorf fight, presumably still in the Ganondorf fight, as
Yeah, we've been
the
having
stream has been
technical
freezing up for both of
difficulties.
you,
Yeah, for like
off and on.
off and on for a good chunk of the race, unfortunately. So I had to pull up both of your streams at some point and make
All
sure I
right.
didn't spoil anything because it's a minute ahead of SGL. So
I see. Okay.
We did appreciate you trying to use the fire arrows, pointing out that you had tried to use the fire arrows, and then about 90 seconds later realizing,
wait, that meant
hey,
that
Sponge
you
has a
actually got a
bow.
bow. Yeah, because that was one of the times it crashed.
Yeah, that was so funny. I went to go check the boss key chest, no key. Oh, wait a minute, I can do the lobby chest, no magic. Just a double brain fart.
Sometimes you just get hyped.
Sometimes you click buttons on your tracker, and your tracker says, hey, you can do this check, and then you realize, I'm not doing bull crap.
I did feel bad for Schultzer having to do ice with magic and blue fire arrows, but no bow. It's just
Oh,
sad to see.
That's depressing.
Yeah, because we don't know where the last bow is either. But it's most
I
likely
mean,
in
it's
Ganon's
got to be in
castle.
Ganon's. It's got to be. Like 90% chance it's in Ganon's.
Because
Yeah, it's
we've
basically
checked
nothing else.
everything else in the seed, so it's like, no way.
Do we literally have every other check but Ganon's on Restream?
Yeah,
Like every single one?
Schulter was looking for a strength 3. Including
Yeah.
Big Goron. Which was, like, the claim check was in the slingshot room on, like, the side chest.
Oh, in Deku. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, yeah,
So, I
he
mean,
did all of Deku. Well, we literally did see every single non-Ganon's Castle check on Restream.
Yep.
Yep.
That's wild.
So we know what 3 items are in there. There must be another wallet, another bow, and another bomb bag
Yep.
in Ganon's
Because
castle.
BGS could be just about anywhere. Because...
Oh, a big
Couldn't
orange sword
be-
too, yeah.
Oh, I just lost power. Huh.
Uh-oh.
At least it was now.
Very lucky, holy shit.
Yeah,
And
better to lose it
GG's
now
to
than...
Schultzer. Yeah.
I'm gonna go deal with
Oops.
that. Thanks for the restream, and thanks for the race and everything. Thank you for commentating. I'm gonna go fix this.
Alright. Yeah,
Have fun.
hopefully...
Have a
And
good one, peeps.
GG's to Schultzer as well with a race time of 2:31:33. A very admirable time for doing literally every check in the game.
Yeah, we did not get BGS, unfortunately. Hello and GG's.
So is there?
GG.
Welcome in, Shelter GG.
Oh, such
So-
a long lead. I think I have 4 checks left in the entire game. Oh.
What are those checks? We were trying to
Top of-
count which ones they were.
Top of fire, dump and digging, and 2 checks in bottom of the well.
Oh my god. Yep.
Oh yeah, forgot about the top. Forgot we hadn't seen the top of fire.
Yeah,
I think there
that's
was
right.
one
Yeah, that's-
item there.
But there was like no reason ever to go back into fire.
We've seen the top. The only things we haven't seen are the top of fire and Gans Castle. We've seen everything else on the restream.
No, we never saw Big Goron's sword, unfortunately.
Probably just in
No, the Goron
Ganon.
sword did not show up.
Probably, yeah, just in Ganon's. The
It's
other
still
possibility
easy.
is just like in one of the foolish locations.
Like this was so annoying. Like getting Din's fire. Oh yeah, I can do Deku 3 now. Or find my Kokiri sword in shadow, and you get pictures, and it's not a Kokiri sword, and it's blue fire
Nope.
arrows, and it's a slingshot. And you're like, game, please, just give me the Kokiri sword. I don't want to be. I don't want to
Did
be
you
here.
expect? Did
No,
you expect
the-
anything else from non-required Shadow?
It was required
It
in
was
the end,
got-
though. At
It,
least
it was required, but yeah, but I can't call it Stone Shadow anymore.
Got like
Aw.
the Gossip Stone wanted you to play music for Dad.
I still also like that. I think that Din's fire also locked out our bows. I don't think the bow is logic without Din's fire in Spirit Temple.
Yeah, that's true too. Because the one in
Because there was
Spirit
a key
Temple
locked.
is like there's a key locked by Fire Source. That's true.
There was one key
Fine.
in the early early adult climb and one on right hand. So that I think the right hand must be the 5th key. The early adult climb must be the 4th key, and the Din's fire is then the 3rd key, maybe. I think that's how it works. Is that how it works? I'm not sure.
Oh wait, there were three keys. There was one key magic locked. There was one key in child side. One
That was
one
maybe like
key in lower
key,
adult.
I want to say key 2 or it's key 2 or 3.
Which one? Sorry.
The one on map chest. It doesn't matter which one it is because
Yeah.
either way you still need to.
Like at that point, I would have just like if I had this thanks to at this point, I would have known. Okay, or at least I would have tried to just let's just slash your bow checks, and then I would have got long shot and would have been like, oh, okay, it's just long shot here. I wonder where to go now. At least water was quick to see.
Yeah, that's
I
always
was
the saving
incredibly
grace.
surprised about the boss key location in water.
Same.
The fact that it wasn't central pillar. What even is
Not
this seed?
Yeah, like the seed was. I liked my early routing to some degree, like going into domain. But I think like remember when I think I just forgot about Fox 1 in the first hour of the seed, and then wait, I didn't do this check. Fuck. And I had an early scale. I could have done this a long time earlier.
Yeah.
But yeah, not having the CL when going to Fountain really hurt me in the seed. Missing out on
Yeah,
that
something- it's
strength, not getting the bow early, everything just sucked then.
Cascaded
Yeah,
from there.
That's unfortunate. Yeah,
It's
'cause-
something I'm guilty of too, is forgetting that I have Song of Storms when I start with it, and being like 90 minutes in and going, oh yeah, the well exists.
Yeah, also shout out to the Death Mountain pass that was for Bombag, that was super helpful for the entire seed, yay.
Well,
Yeah.
sometimes you need to get into Ping Dodongo.
For that one, thanks. Sure. Cool hint.
Yeah.
Oh my
Yeah,
goodness. People doing foolish markets. Oh my goodness.
I also did Foolish Market because I forgot that Big Boss is Market.
You
Yeah.
brushed against it. You brushed against it.
That is absolutely fair though. I've done foolish locations a lot lately. Although in a
It feels
different
like a
game.
field check.
It really does. But yeah, I think I'm like pretty happy with my time. Of course, it could always be faster. But yeah, those things were just in an awful location. But I mean, like getting the 9th place when missing in the entire seed 4 item locations, like finishing almost a little bit over 12 minutes over the first place. I think I can totally live with the placement in the end, even if it doesn't work out that good.
It's a testament to routing well that orphaning one check and then last locationing it in an awkward child location still only pushed you 12 minutes behind.
Yeah, sending the early hammer didn't really pay off in the end. But the early hammer knowledge.
Yeah, it's such a shame too, because had you pushed for Frogs 1 at that time, you would have been... That would probably have been your first strength, I think.
I probably should have, to be honest. I should have just lashed Liver, but like I said, I just forgot that the Frogs 1 existed. I should have done it when I got a scale, got a slingshot, got a scale. Then I should have... Like, I planned to go Liver, but I then was like, wait, I cannot do anything at Liver, and then I went to Leg instead to go to the main and give away the Lotus Letter. Yeah. I think if I have Day of Time in that spot, I probably could have set it up, but I set it up for dumper digging, and then never did dumper digging. That was not my best move.
Yeah,
we did notice that
what you were planning, but then it's like,
yeah.
oh, that's unfortunate. Yeah, like, it just ultimately came down to some bad luck. I know that because Frogs 1 has screwed me a number of times.
Yeah,
it did for me as well. We just need to have more Frog checks. Like, this is the best solution to get rid of Frogs 1. We need more Frog checks. Like, there are 50 rupees on that spot. Shuffle them, shuffle them.
I agree.
Shuffle the frogs.
Shuffle all the frogs.
To be fair, those are probably that item that should be shuffled in standard to begin with, but people just don't like frogs, so that those are not shuffled. Poor frogs. But yeah,
if there's one thing the game needs more of, it's all dungeon seeds.
No, unhint. I mean, at least I got it hinted pretty early on.
Yeah. When you get to the end of Shadow, you just kind of have to sigh and admit what you have to do.
Yeah, I mean, I still hope, like, I don't have a bow. When I get a spirit bow, it might only be for bow logic, which I thought, oh, this is probably just super bad for me. But let's hope the seed is not super ass, and then there's no slangs, and there's no slangs, there's no slangs, and there's no slangs, and yeah, it just didn't work out.
And then the bow finally points to something, and it's the long shot.
Like, oh, okay, at least I'm near Border Temple as well. Like I knew what my end thought is, so I decided to not grab Cyanide in the end, which I think is the faster decision here, because I needed to check the already anyways. So it did feel good in the end to skip at least out on Cyanide.
I did say to Sponge that the saddest thing in this stream was watching you do ice with blue fire arrows and magic and no bow.
Yeah, and even equipping blue fire arrows, and it was like, wait, I have no arrows in my quiver, and then I'm like, oh, I know why this happened.
And now know why.
It was like Sponge earlier. He was going to, he got the bow in spirit, but he had no magic, so he tried to shoot fire arrows.
Yeah, I even tried to wait out for like Fire Temple. I didn't know if you realized that, because I don't want to be Borlogged in Fire Temple. I don't want to be Borlogged in Fire Temple. But at some point I was like, I need to go to Fire Temple now and then fast check magic. Okay, we are safe in Fire Temple at least.
Yeah,
it did work out. It could have been a nastier seed if it was a bull-locked fire.
Yeah, I mean, the seed was nasty enough. Anyways, like getting a early hint that OGC is past the Battle Knight, a shell, and you're like, I don't think I can skip anything this seed. I mean, I skipped 3 checks basically. At least they didn't burn me, but yeah, kind of happened. But yeah, thanks for this team. I think I'm out with a long seed. I hope I'm gonna have a little bit more luck in the next one, but yeah. Tough,
we still have 10 more qualifiers to go.
Yep. I still need to do at least one.
Yeah, we do have a schedule. In the Speedgaming Live Discord. If you are interested in partaking in the Ocarina of Time Randomizer SGL Tournament 2024, there is the SGLIVE Discord, which has just been put in the chat. Thank you, Speedgaming bots. The information on when the qualifiers are is in there under the Ocarina of Time room, so please feel free to join that. We'd be happy to see as many participants as possible in this online tournament. Other than that, thank you to our runners, Sponge and Schultzer. Thank you to my co-commentator here, Alex Harold. And especially thank you to our trackers, Warren Traveller and Shaynock. Shaynock went above and beyond digging into the VODs for us today. Not to mention the Excel spreadsheet that none of you can see that tells us where everything was and where the hints were and makes us look smart, like we know what we're doing. So
And
thank you to
Randobot
all of the
for
volunteers.
blood. And thanks
Yes.
Randobot for all the blood. This is the second.
And thank you to the SGL team for setting up this stream for us. But in that case, that should be everything for us today. I will just double check when the next qualifier is.
I believe it's Saturday.
Yes, August the 4th at 1:15 AM Eastern. So that is August the 4th at 3:15 PM UTC. Oh, AM. So yeah, 3 PM UTC on August the 4th. So that's this Saturday. Thank you all for joining. And hopefully we'll see you at the next one. As long as I can find the button which ends the stream. There we are.